shock.
Heart attack, like that.
Yes, yes. Fractures, as a first aider, there's not much you can do about fractures other than stabilise them. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Choking, broken bones. Yeah. Choking, so something caught in the throat. Okay. Bleeding, again with bleeding, your primary aim is to stop it. Okay. Burns, electric shock, which is different because it's not shock, it's a kind of burn, and muscle and joint injuries are what you can and can't do. Okay? So the first thing, the first principle of first aid. Anyone like to take a guess? First principle of first aid. No? Who's the most important person when you come across a casualty? No, you are. You are no good to that casualty if you injure yourself. So you have to make sure that you check for any signs of danger before you do anything to the casualty. For instance, with electric shock, why have they had an electric shock? It's no good you go straight to them and touch them, because you'll get the shock as well if the electricity is still on. If they're maybe on the roof, it's no good you going onto that roof if it's going to collapse. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're going to be safe. First and most important thing to take care of is your own safety and avoid becoming a casualty yourself. Okay, very important. The second thing is to check for a response. By that I mean identify if that person is alive and identify if that person is conscious. Okay, do you understand what I mean by conscious?
No.
No?
No.
Awake. Awake, so or awake. Okay? Many ways you can do that. What I'd like you to do, that. Right. If they're awake, they'll do that. You can pinch the ear. Okay, just talk. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? If they're conscious, they'll respond. If they're not conscious, they won't. If they're conscious, that means two things. They're breathing and they have circulation. Okay? If they're not conscious, then we have to look at airway. So we'll write this down. Danger. Okay, so if you check to see if they're conscious, what do you know will be happening? If they're conscious,
Breathing.
they'll be breathing and they'll have a circulation. So the airway will be clear. Now what is the airway? Okay? This passage down to the lungs. You know lungs?
Yeah.
You know the esophagus, trachea and so on? Okay? So if that airway is blocked, what do you have to do? That's the first thing. Unblock it. Yeah. What can block it?
Foods.
Artificial.
Yeah.
Artificial respiration.
Yeah. What else? What's the most common thing to block an airway? Roger?
The reason that it's blocked.
What's the most common reason for the airway being blocked?
Food.
Drowning. Something in nostril, mouth.
Something in the mouth. If something in the mouth is stuck in the airway. Tongue. Tongue. Because the tongue is long and folds back. And if somebody knocks backwards like that, the tongue will fall back in their head. Okay? So if your tongue is like that, it can get stuck. So what do you have to do?
Pull out the tongue.
Get your finger in and pull it out. Okay? If they're leaning backwards like that, the tongue will fall back. If they lean forwards, the tongue will fall forwards. So when we put them in the recovery position, we put them so the head is forward and the tongue is out of the way. The tongue is the first and most likely thing to block an airway, particularly if someone's unconscious, because they have no control over it.